Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's time once again. It's time. It's time for that amazing podcast known throughout, well, a few places. But anyway, I digress. Ladies and gentlemen, your ringmasters for today, that giggle-stun gal Friday, that's amazing, wonderful, stupendous, Rachel Reese. And then she hired some clown from the Bowery. He's kind of angry, cranky, and he smells. Yeah, his name doesn't matter. But anyway, on to the podcast.
D.U.H, Department of Understanding Humans, yeah!
Happy Hump Day and Happy Valentine's Day 2018. Welcome to episode 33 of the Department of Understanding Humans. In this episode, we spend some time with Rob Harrison, one half of Gamma Radio out of the UK. He shares with us his upcoming season 2 at the time. They have since dropped season 2. You can find them on the internet, the interwebs, at www.gamma-radio.co.uk. That's Gamma with 2 M's. GAMMA-radio.co.uk. This is going to be a fun listen. Enjoy, but be sure to check out Gamma Radio and their new season 2 that has just dropped since this interview. And it is fan-frickin-tastic.
Wasn't recording any of that crap. I'm such an asshole.
Okay. That's
He's
all right.
going to Shatner.
We can always do it again.
We can always do it again, but it never has the same feel.
Never has the same feel as it does live. But anyway, welcome to the podcast. And Rachel, who's our guest today?
This is Rob Harrison, and he is from Gamma Radio, and I'm so freaking excited. I'm so excited. Hey. I'm totally fangirling right now. I just have to tell you. I'm like, really? Please let this all. Yes. Oh my gosh. You said you were nervous. And I'm like, no, he can't be nervous because I'm nervous. I'm like, this is the first time I've listened to an entire podcast series and gone, oh, we're getting him on our show. Oh my God. I'm so excited. Really? Oh my God. When I listen to y'all's show, I'm glad you're here. Oh my gosh.
She even put plastic down on the floor for you, because in case there's, a puppy.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, just in case, because as you do. So Gamma Radio, tell us about Gamma Radio, so our listeners understand exactly why I'm so excited.
Oh, okay. So Gamma Radio is a fictional post-nuclear radio show, essentially. So. It's set in the wasteland, the nuclear wasteland of the UK, and it's two hapless DJs trying to put on a good show for the people in the wasteland, but they don't do very well due to all of the different characters that pop up and call in and guest on the show, and there's plenty. It's difficult to explain, really.
You just gotta go listen to it.
To describe it. Yeah. Go and listen to it, and then you'll know exactly what it's about. And
I have to say, the concept of it is truly a good and unique one.
Yeah, I haven't seen any other people doing it, which surprised me actually, because the inspiration for it was the radio stations on Fallout. I don't know if you've ever played Fallout.
I'm familiar with Fallout. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was listening to. Oh, excellent! Because you can download the idea in the first place was that I heard the radio stations on that and thought, I reckon I could do that. And I wanted to give it a go. And then the idea came from, thinking what would the UK be like in a post-apocalyptic scenario and how can I make it funny? So that was the idea.
So what I'm curious, you have a co-host, don't you?
Oh, we do. Yeah. I have a writing partner and, co-actor, who is, he's called Paul. He couldn't make it on the show, but but basically we get together, we write everything together. So like everything from the Good Vibe show, we sit down and we slave over and and construct, and then we both record it all together, and then I do all the like editing and sound effects and mixing and music and everything like that, and I send it over to him, and he gives me the thumbs up, and that's basically how it goes.
How long does it take you guys to record?
So we haven't released an episode of the Good Vibes show since last March, I think it was. The thing was it was released as a YouTube series first, because we didn't know what podcasting was, really. And, it was only later when we thought, hang on a minute, what we're doing here is probably better suited to podcast. We moved that over in about June, I think it was, onto the podcast channels and stuff like that. So, but we haven't released anything new on the Good Vibe show since about March. So we started writing this series about then. And we've been recording it for the last, 4 months. So it took us a good 6 months to write it, and then another 4 months then to record it. And we're just finishing off the last bits now. We're getting ready to release it. And in between then I did the Miserable Albert happy hour show.
I love Miserable Albert.
Oh, do you? Good. I'm glad somebody likes Miserable Albert. We get a lot of comments saying, I like Miserable Albert and all, but when are the others coming back? So, it's quite nice. But yeah, and I really like doing the songs. So.
Hey, we like this and everything, but, can you bring the old stuff back? I mean, what?
Yeah,
I understand.
The first album was better.
Yeah. Can you just stop doing new stuff and just go back to what you were doing? Yeah, thanks. That'd be great. Anyway.
I've heard that, haven't I? So it's the two of you do all those voices?
Yeah, we do all the characters ourselves.
Oh my gosh, Chris, this is right up your alley.
I completely really understand where he's coming from.
Oh yeah, it's really fun doing all the voices.
10 or 15 different characters.
Am I wrong? You're probably a lot more than that. Because we have at least 3 or 4 guests per episode. We have 3 or 4 people ringing in the call-ins, and we have people coming into the studio, and then we have little clips in the news of people as well. So we've got, I don't know, I've never counted how many there are, but there are loads and loads. We've got a limited amount of voices, so we were having to do some nifty tricks in this next series to try and get everyone to sound unique, but it's really fun. I really enjoy doing it, and yeah. And the Miserable Albert ones are really fun too, because I get pretty much free reign over those, and I write all the songs and everything. I basically just do them all, send them to Paul, and he just goes, yep, that's fine, or can you tweak this a little bit or something like that, and sends it off. But yeah.
You write the songs and you perform them.
Yeah. I write all the lyrics and all the music, and I play all the instruments apart from the drums because I don't have a drum kit.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
so pretty much you are a one-man industry with this podcast that you do.
Pretty much.
And
well, Paul is
literally
heavily
the credits will roll. Creator, Rob. Writer, Rob. Voices, Rob. Musicians, Rob. Music by Rob.
Well, I think there'll be a few Pauls in there as well.
There'll be Paul.
Because Paul is a massive force behind the writing.
I'm sorry. Yeah, your partner is involved with the writing. Forgive me. I didn't mean to.
Oh yeah. He's like the funny one.
You guys,
he's good at the jokes.
Okay, so all right. So who is Fog? Is that you or him?
Who plays Fog? I play Fog, and he plays Dave.
That's hilarious. Yeah. I never would have figured that out by the sound of your voice.
No? No. I don't use my normal voice for Fog. There's a lot of me in Fog, I guess, which is a shame.
Well, give us a little Fog. Come on, give us a slight bit of Fog.
Oh, good evening, everybody. We're here on the D.U.H podcast, and I'm being interviewed by some lovely, lovely people. So yeah, he's in there all the time.
That's great.
I love the camaraderie that you guys have, and I mean, I know it's written, I know that you script this stuff, but it is so awesome how you bounce off each other. And he's like, no, wait, Fog, no, we didn't do this. Read this. What? Did you just make this up? Did you just make this up?
And
with the news stories that was it? Yeah, we've tried to make it really believable and fake news. There's a lot of fake news in our show.
And I love how you call the post-Trumpocalypse. I'm like, oh, this is so funny.
What's wrong? I didn't cause it. It was a hairpiece. It was a hairpiece. It was huge.
Oh my God.
Sorry?
My hairpiece did it.
He's being Trump.
My hairpiece. Don't you recognize the destroyer of worlds, Donald Trump? That's me. Nobody did it better. Just me.
That's pretty good.
I did it bigger. I did it better.
He's not tapped in, is he?
Oh yeah, no. He totally does out of body experiences and channels these people into his being.
I would have saved us all. You should have voted for Bernie.
Oh, get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn. Would I have a house in the irradiated wasteland? Yes, I would. Me and Al Gore, we would be okay. We would be safe.
Al Gore would do a
I'd have a
documentary
job on the
it,
Muppet Show with Stanley and Waldorf.
Oh my gosh. So, okay, you guys, you said you spent how long writing? How many months writing?
We took about 6 months for the new series. We've done it very differently actually this time. We're in our first series. We didn't know what the hell we were doing, and we just we wrote one episode and then we recorded it and then put it out and then thought, what should we do now? And then we wrote another one and then another one and we did it in that way. So we wrote, recorded, released, wrote, recorded, released. And this time we thought, let's try and get it a bit more consistent. We'll get an overarching plot throughout the whole thing that we can then it will build the world a bit better. And so we wrote everything together, in 6 months. So that's 6 new episodes that's coming out. Plus all the extras as well. So loads of adverts and, some more robot songs and all sorts of stuff coming. But yeah, 6 months for the lot. Still, I'm just tidying it up now. I'm hoping to release, in the next couple of weeks, episode 1 at the very least.
You've dropped the trailer. The trailer sounds amazing.
Yeah, I had an idea to do that and, it's come out all right, actually. I thought it was going to be rubbish.
It does. It came out really good. And I'm glad you dropped it about the same time that you sent back the questionnaire thing. And I was like, oh, this is perfect timing. So I was yeah. And you said that when you're not doing the show or making music, your day job is a faux librarian. What is that?
Yeah, I work in a library.
You pretend to be a librarian?
Kind of, yeah. Everyone thinks I'm a librarian and just calls me a librarian, and all the students in my library think I'm a librarian, but I'm just an assistant. Essentially, we check books out for people, and then the real librarians work in the back office and don't really come out. So I'm like a faux librarian. I met Paul I used to work in the public library in Swansea, lovely rainy Swansea in Wales. And, we used to work on the seafront together, and that's how I met him. And, so we started doing the show while I worked there, but I've moved jobs since, and he's still there, and I've moved on. It's just, but it's good.
So is that where you guys get your inspiration, is from obviously the town and stuff around you? Because some of the stuff that you're describing, I'm like, wow, I wonder if these are actually really real cities that they're just changing names of.
Oh, all of the place names are real places that we've mutated the names slightly for them to be a bit silly. So we've got Birmingham, Birmingham. We've got Manchester is man's chest hair. We've got, Newcastle is, nuke asshole upon spine. And there's all sorts of silly names that we try and pick a town and then ruin their names, which is quite fun.
That's awesome.
But they're all, it's all over Britain.
The names of the characters. Oh my God. The names of the characters crack me up. It's just I don't know. There was one episode, and I think it had to do with, who's the woman that's in love with the guy that she cut his arms off or something so that he couldn't get away?
Oh, Petunia Dank. She's awful, isn't she? She's horrible.
She did. There was something, and I don't know which episode. I can't remember. I remember driving home listening to it, and she did something, and then it went on it was a cliffhanger to the next episode. And I'm driving home, and I'm like, no, wait, I can't load it fast enough. Because it doesn't on the way that it feeds on Podbean. It goes to the next episode below it. instead of the next episode above it. I'm like, crap, and I don't know how to. So I'm like, So I almost get into a car accident trying to load the next actual episode in line.
Oh,
and I'm
God,
like, what did you do? What did you do?
What was the clip? I'm trying to remember what the cliffhanger was.
I don't remember. I'd have to look it up. It was something. I honestly think it was right before she did something where she was either blown up or she blew up, and then
she got squished.
The love of her life runs away, and he's so excited, but he's moving like at a snail's pace because he has no appendages.
He's slugging along.
I can't remember.
I don't. Yeah, she died. So that was the end of her. she basically
exploded.
Well, yeah, he pushed a stack of crate of lead rocks, I think we said, which is nonsense. Lead rocks, but and exploded her like a bag of blood.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. And then your descriptions, and then so the sound effects. How are you doing the sound effects? Are you making them, or do you have a library of sound effects?
I'm making as many as I can because basically I'm worried I won't credit the people if I use them properly. I'll forget where they've come from, and because the way I work is quite sporadic and intense, I'll just get a sound effect and then use it. But so I try to make the majority myself. There have been a few that I buy. I go to websites like Pond5 and I buy them there because then at least they're getting money for it, and I don't have to credit them according to the license, which is great. But yeah, 90% of them I'll make myself because it's so much fun. I love making the sound effects. I've ended up doing absolutely weird, disgusting things to get some horrible, especially for this new series. You haven't heard them yet, but there's some horrible sound effects coming. And getting my housemates to do a lot of them as well, and making them go through silly scenarios just so I can record the sound of it, which is great. Like my friend, we need it for the new series. We needed some metal shoes. And so which we obviously don't own. And so I got my friend Flick, we elastic banded some bacon trays to her feet. So then when she was walking along, it's clanking along like someone in armor, which was ridiculous. But we're just trying not to laugh. But it's just really fun. I love doing the sound effects. And yeah.
The best thing is you have cheap labor in your friends.
Yeah, that's true. Do you have 6 housemates?
I have 6 housemates. Yeah, I live in a housing co-op, which is awesome. I'll tell you about
6,
that.
6, that's a dorm.
Yeah, pretty much. We've got all our own rooms and stuff, and we're all, we're all adults, and so it's apart from one of us, which is a child. He's, and one of my housemates has a child. He's 7. He's cool. He plays Minecraft.
Minecraft,
yeah, we're a housing co-op. So what we've done is got together, we've bought a house, and we all then control the co-op. The co-op owns the house, and we pay rent to the co-op, and then we use the money that we pay rent to pay off mortgages and bills and stuff like that. And so essentially we've cut out the middleman. There's no landlord. We're both landlord and tenant, and it works really, really well. It means we can set our own rent. And
that's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
It's pretty good. And so we get our own, we can do whatever we want to the house. It's ours. So we can paint all the walls, whatever colors we like, and draw on them if we want to within reason, And, yeah, it's really nice.
So do you have a recording studio in your bedroom, or how have you been able to set that up with your housemates?
I just do it all. Yeah, it is in my bedroom. I've just basically got a computer and a desk, and, I've got lots of wall hangings on the walls to kind of dampen sound. And then, I basically bought all my recording gear to make music because I'm a musician as well. I've played in lots of bands and things like that. So, I bought all of the gear for that, and then thought, well, I've got all this gear. I may as well do this thing. So yeah, it's not ideal. It's not a proper studio. It's just a bedroom, which is where I am now. So it's,
you mean,
just drag.
You don't have a proper studio, and you're doing all of this stuff, and it sounds great, and you're putting out great material.
Oh, thanks very much.
See where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Because, my friend, don't feel bad about that. We produce our podcast from the lovely dual studios of El Chipo Studios. Because it's good.
It's good,
yeah.
man.
Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad or go, oh, man, I've only got this, I've only got that. There's nothing to it. I mean, we're doing our podcast on wireless headsets, phones, and a snowball mic and a computer. I mean,
oh, nice.
Really and truly, I'm in my basement. I have an old memory foam mattress topper that I surround myself with as a barrier to block sound.
Yeah.
I don't have a real studio.
No, I don't suppose many people do.
No, I don't think any good. Yeah, there's a lot of indie podcasters that don't have a real studio, and that's one of the things that makes us so awesome.
I'm just demos. They want $3,000 walking in the door. You got $3,000? I don't have $3,000.
I don't have $3,000.
Shit.
Yeah, we don't make any money off the podcast or anything, which is absolutely fine.
Well, you guys have a great time doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. It takes up all of my time. Every minute that I'm not at work and sleeping and eating and all of that, and I'm working on the podcast, basically.
The basic necessities of life.
I do need to go out and talk to
while you're
people
adulting.
Sometimes. Well, sorry, I do my best.
No, Rob, you don't need to go out and talk to people sometimes. It's just, that's overrated. Just stay and make your own little world and enjoy the own little world that you can create. What made you guys, did you just wake up one morning and go, I think a post-apocalyptic radio show would be hilarious?
Yeah, basically. Especially when I was playing Fallout 4, because there's no humor in that at all. It's really dry. And I just thought, this needs some comedy. And so I decided to make the show and then turn it into a mod.
You were listening to Uranium Fever being played over and over and over again on Fallout 4 and said, you know what? I'm going to do a podcast about a post-apocalyptic UK wasteland that has a radio show.
Exactly.
I mean, there you go.
But see, it still has that, and as an American, I'm saying this with love, not as any kind of insult, okay? So please take it in that vein. But it still has that dry British proper humor. Like, you guys are dying. You've got vegetables that are eating you, and yet you're still so calm about it.
That's the way we do it here, I think. Yeah.
Oh,
inside they're screaming.
Yes. We're so happy. Mind the gap. Ah!
That's pretty much
the coats have come alive. Oh, pass the tea, will you? Yes, thank you.
Yeah, it's just so...
That was very good. Yeah, our American accents are terrible.
Well, if you need an American, we could totally hook you up with some American accents.
Yeah, I quite like the fact that they're so terrible, to be honest.
I do love some of your horrible accents. They are so, I'm like, oh my God, that's a horrible American accent, but I love it. It's like one of those spaghetti Western kind of, hey there, buddy, we're gonna get ya.
Hey there, buddy. Yeah, exactly. I've never been to America, but.
It's like John Wayne playing Genghis Khan, it's just that believable.
Yeah. I'm particularly bad. Paul's quite good at the accents, I think.
There's an obscure movie reference for the day.
But who was talking about, Dan and I were talking about that somewhere recently about John Wayne doing Genghis Khan. I'm like, why would terrible. John Wayne do Genghis Khan? What was that?
Because Hollywood looked and said, we need a huge actor for this. And then they said, let's get John Wayne. I mean, look at how many things have been so miscast with what has been put out, I mean, William Shatner singing Rocket Man. Come on.
He doesn't sing
really?
Rocket Man.
He doesn't sing. He
talks.
He talks. He talks. But it was gold, and for John Wayne being Genghis Khan, it was terrible, but it was comedy gold. I mean, there's several people that had dreams that, shouldn't have been full, like Stalin, Hitler, Michael Bolton. Do you see where I'm going with this? I mean,
Michael Bolton? No.
You see where I'm going with this? Some dreams and some things just shouldn't be. But anyway,
that's what we're going for.
I'm sorry, I just took us into a whole different direction.
That's all right.
What?
That's kind of what we're going for.
God, I can't even. That just fried my brain.
What I'm trying to do is get you to do a giggle snort for your man Rob here.
I've done several giggle snorts already. The whole thing is just a giggle snort. God. Because I went back and I'm looking at some of the quick blurbs on Gamma Radio, and I love the description. It's like just the very first episode, and that's what kind of got me. Because I saw you in one of the groups, and I said, "Oh, geez, my phone is turning on." I saw you in one of the groups, and I'm like, "What is this Gamma Radio thing?" And so I look at the first episode 1 of season 1. The description is so simple and it's so enticing, and it's Dave and Fogg interview wasteland explorer Trent Hardbottom on the launch day of his new book and devise a little challenge for him in the basement. That episode cracked me up because he's like, it's like that whole, I've beat all these different things. I've fought these different beasts. I've survived these different scenarios, and I am here to tell the story. Really? We've got a great scenario for you down in the basement. No. I've got the wrong pocket knife.
But is it? Yeah, he's at Trent Hardbottom. He's a bit of a charlatan, really, wasn't he? We like Trent Hardbottom. So he may pop up at some point again.
You mean he didn't die because of the rats? What?
He didn't die. No, he wasn't. They sent him down to the clinic, if I remember, to carry on with this book signing. He's going to do it from this hospital bed.
Oh my gosh! Okay. You've got season 2 coming up, and you're gonna post that here soon, like within the next few weeks. Now, are you dropping all of them at once, or are you going to just put one out every week, or how are you going to do that?
We're going to release them one at a time, just to give me some extra time to tidy them up, basically. And probably, I don't know whether to do it once every week or once every 2. What do you think? Once every week or once every 2?
That depends on how long it takes you to edit things. Cause I mean, your shows are very edit intensive. Like you're editing everything, including sound effects and timing and stuff. We're doing every other week now. So, cause of life and day jobs. Day jobs. But see, I'm so selfish. I am because I love what you guys do so much.
Here we go.
That I'd be like every day, just post one every day. Just post them all. But then I would selfishly listen to it. I'd binge the season and then be left with nothing. So maybe a diet of Gamma Radio is better than. Yeah,
we'll drip feed it then.
Binge of Gamma Radio. I don't know.
Yeah, so
she basically wants you to be like Netflix and put out a whole season in one day, so you can sit there and listen to the whole thing.
That was our idea in the first place, was to drop them all at once. But I think like the way podcasts work, I think people, I don't know, it just seems better that people get one episode, listen to it, and then what our idea is then is once everything is released, to condense it all down and put it into the mods then for Fallout for PC and Xbox for all of those, that audience basically, because they're a completely different set of people than the podcast audience. It's very strange. And our YouTube audience is different again. It's very odd. Sorry, I go off on tangents a bit, don't I?
It's okay. You're fine. I like your tangents. I could just listen to you talk all day. Could you just read a phone book, please?
I think we'd all.
Sorry, the fangirl.
Really ask him to read a phone book.
Shut up, Chris. I told you ahead of time.
Here's this package of biscuits. Will you read the ingredients on it for me? Thank you.
I warned you both ahead of time. I was sort of fangirling. Shut up.
Leave me alone.
You
stupid.
It's not my fault. I like British people.
Would you like me to leave the conversation so you can have Rob all to yourself? I will let you have that. Okay, I understand you're fangirling out. It's all right.
No, it's okay. It's all right. Fine.
Are you sure? Mm-hmm. You need a moment? Okay.
Mm-mm. Okay. Right.
Rob is now super scared.
Lucky
Rob is sitting here going,
you're across the pond.
He's ringing Interpol going, yes, hello. I have an American stalker now. Please save me. She's going to come over here and put me in the jar.
I'm like Petunia.
Oh God! Don't cut me arms.
Poor Gary.
Yeah, poor Gary indeed. Yeah, I don't know what happened to him actually.
He's off living the life. He probably, found a wheelbarrow or something, and somebody's willing to cart him around and make him happy.
I hope that's the case. Although he's probably been eaten by a melon or something.
But I love him. Oh my gosh. So you said that you guys don't have, so you're footing the bill for this whole thing. Are you going to ever try and monetize and like get sponsors or anything like that?
I don't know about basically what don't want to do is start injecting our episodes with adverts that aren't part of the show, or putting things in it that don't fit with the universe. Like when you press play, I want it to be that whole universe from that point to the end. So we're never going to put adverts or anything like that in, or put promos of other podcasts in there, because it would I think it would ruin the atmosphere and ruin the show, really. So I don't know about that. I've thought about Patreon, but I don't think we get enough listens to bother, really. I don't think any, so.
Well, I mean, because you guys you have the advertisements, you have those cut out also in their own reel, but do you have outtakes that you end up not putting in the show that you can offer patrons?
Yeah, we have lots of outtakes, because stumbling over lines, and we're pretty terrible in terms of how our process of recording, because we don't rehearse. We just sit down with the script and go through it, and if we mess up, we just give it a pause and then go from that point again. So there's lots of fluffs, and we should probably practice before we record, but we don't. So yeah, there's loads of outtakes that we could do something with for Patreons. But yeah, I haven't really put that much thought into it, to be honest. I'm mostly concerned about getting the show out. But if people wanted to check us for money, it'd be great. There's no room to do it at the moment.
When you guys are, you write everything out, you start cracking up. Do you start cracking up when you're recording stuff too, and you just have to wait and stop with the giggles? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, we recorded the last of the adverts. When was that? That was last Wednesday, I think. And Paul was reading this particular advert that and it was just this one particular line that just cracked me up, and I just couldn't stop laughing. And, he was waiting very patiently to stop, to continue. And then he had to do the line again, and then it set me up. Yeah, there's loads of stuff like that. It's very silly, especially if we fluff up lines and put.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry. Oh, I lost the end of that end of that sentence.
Pardon? Sorry. Pardon. So, Chris, you know how you call yourself the angry uncle?
Yes.
Okay. When he does Miserable Albert, I envision it being you as an older British dude with tea and biscuits sitting there in front of the microphone.
Sweet. Instead of beef jerky and whiskey? All right.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with tea and
British.
Biscuits, to be honest.
Can't go wrong with tea and biscuits.
You don't even call them biscuits over there, do you?
Well, some of us do, because we've paid attention, but some of us just call them crackers or cookies.
Crackers?
Crackers.
Crackers. We have crackers here, but we eat them with cheese. They're savory.
We eat them with cheese here.
Yeah.
Right.
Or peanut butter, or even delicatessen meat.
Oh, really? Oh, that sounds right.
Yes.
I could do that.
Yeah. I haven't done that in a while. Nice little roll of turkey.
That's actually some stuff I have for lunch, is some crackers and ground stone wheat crackers. And some cheese and a little deli meat on them. It's good.
Oh, nice.
Sorry, I love going to the UK. I visited London and had a thoroughly good time.
London. London is a different country to the rest of the UK.
Yes. Now, I do understand that. I completely understand that it's a cosmopolitan metro city. It's different from the areas of the country, or even where the central of London is. It's different from Wales. It's different from Scotland. It's different from.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. It's you don't. The United Kingdom, Great Britain, just doesn't have. Oh, it's just all English. No, it's Scots, Wales.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I don't live there, so you could probably do more than I could of telling our folks more about London and more about England.
Yeah, well, I'm probably better off telling you about Wales, because that's where I'm based. I live in Wales.
There you go, Wales. Sorry.
Yeah.
By the way,
it's a really...
Wales, home of Tom Jones. There you go.
Home of Tom Jones and Doctor Who at the moment as well, if you're into Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Now kind of switching gears here, because I actually want to ask somebody from the UK, where Doctor Who originates, is popular. It's popular over here. I am a Whovian. Yeah. I was finally getting used to Capaldi. I didn't like Peter Capaldi in the first because I went, eh. And then the second season with him really kind of made me watch it. I love the dynamic with Bill and Nardole and all that.
I actually gave up.
Did you? You gave up? Okay.
I gave up because
not a problem. How do you feel about a female being the new Doctor?
I think it's great. I think it'll be great. It'll revitalize the whole thing. It's getting a bit stale. Stephen Moffat, the writer, I didn't really like him. I didn't think he could write women very well. And I think like putting a woman into the role will really change it up. And I don't know what she's going to be like. She might not be very good anyway. But but I think like it's a bold move. And I think it needs it really. It needs a bit of revitalizing because it's going down the pan.
Needs a little shaking up. So, I think they had a bad choice with Capaldi, and I think a lot of fans they were so in love with David Tennant, and then they were so in love with Matt Smith, and then we went to Peter Capaldi, who, I mean, I'm sorry, I have loved watching him in certain shows, but for me, he was Richelieu off the Musketeers. Okay, he was Cardinal Richelieu. He was the nasty ass from the Musketeers. I couldn't see him as anything else.
The role I've seen him in is Malcolm Tucker from The Thick of It, which is a political comedy here.
Oh, God, I love The Thick of It.
It's awesome.
That is hysterical. Okay,
that's
Americans,
what I see him as.
If you're listening and you want to catch up on something, The Thick of It is one of those great shows from the UK.
Yeah, there's some really good stuff coming out in the UK at the moment. Like Inside Number 9, if you ever get a chance to see that, watch that. It's absolutely brilliant. Every episode is fantastic.
I'm going to have to get
Inside
BBC One.
9.
Sorry?
What is that about?
There's another show I like. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted.
It was Inside Number 9 is about it's about half an hour long, and it's they're each standalone episodes. So each story is its own self-contained little,
kind of like the Black Mirror.
Yeah, kind of. It's compared to Black Mirror. That's another British show. That's from Charlie Brooker, who's awesome as well. But but Inside Number 9 is everything takes place in a thing that is number 9, like a house that's number 9, or a room that's number 9, or a train carriage that's the number 9 train carriage. And then each story is sometimes it's all funny, but there's sometimes really horrible bits. It's all quite dark, which I like. And it's written by the people who made Psychoville and The League of Gentlemen, if you're into them, which I am.
Oh, League of Gentlemen.
Yeah. It's the same couple of people who do that. It's a bit out there. But I love it. It's great.
It's like there's these pauses because we're like, okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, and I'm not trying to sit and pause, but I'll hear on my end of the audio, I'll hear a pause, and then all of a sudden it'll be a big flood of, and then it just kind of resumes to normal where we're talking in real time. So if I'm being quiet, I'm trying to let the audio catch up so I'm not talking over it during the recording.
Right. Because I don't know if it's going to actually sort it out on our end when we finally get to edit.
It should do, shouldn't it? It seems like it's
internet.
It's quite good.
Thank you, Intertubes. Thank you.
Interwebs, Intertubes.
We love you, Internet. Thank you.
The interwebs. I think that's what we call it.
The interwebs.
The interwebs.
The webs. Interwebs. So, Rob, where can everybody find you?
I'm in Swansea. If they want to visit, they can probably find me wandering around somewhere. But I presume you mean the podcast. So
Rob, I'm here.
That was
hello.
Quick.
What did you say about American soccer? Hello.
Or even more so, you hear that. Who are you? It's Rachel. Oh, really?
Hi.
I'm kidding. Hi, I'm here.
Hi, I have biscuits.
Well, if you had biscuits, then you're welcome to come in.
Come on. Come on. Are they Jammy Dodgers? Did you bring Jammy Dodgers? Come on in, Jammy Dodgers. Good. Are they digestive crap? Oh, jeez.
Hey, don't knock the digestives.
Actually, I do love the digestives.
I like the digestives.
I do, actually.
Digestives. But yeah,
so now that we're done,
you can find. Sorry.
Now that we're done interrupting you.
Oh, that's all right. What was I saying? I was saying where you can find the podcast, which is you can find us on Podbean, iTunes, Spotify, on YouTube, on Fallout 4 on Xbox and PC, but not PS4, I'm afraid, because Sony don't want external assets brought into their console or something. So it would be on there, but they won't let us. So yeah, it's in lots of places, isn't it? If you can remember all of these things.
Maybe so you're playing. So Gamma Radio is now on the game Fallout 4.
Yeah. The first series is, and there's no Measurable Albert yet. But there will be, and the second series will go on there too. But yeah, you can download the mods off.
That's brilliant!
Whoa! Wait, whoa! Okay, this shows you how ignorant I am, and I apologize. Rachel knows more about the show than I do. I have just started listening within the last maybe 2 weeks, and I like what you guys are doing. I did not realize you're actually being broadcast on the game, or they have used your audio on the game. That's really a kudo. No. That's a feather in your cap.
Oh, it sounds better. No, what they haven't chosen our audio and put it in. I've made a mod myself, and then made it available.
Well, still.
Yeah.
Still, that's impressive. You made a mod. I can't do that.
Well, I couldn't before I tried. I had to follow instructions. I didn't know what I was doing, to be honest, but I managed it, and I'm going to have to I can't remember how to do it. I'll have to try and look it all up again. But yeah, you can go on on Xbox, there's the mods list, and if you search Gamma Radio, it will come up, and on PC, you can get it on the Nexus website where you can get all the other PC mods.
Oh, okay. So, but it can pipe into the game while you're playing the game.
Yeah, well, you download it and install it, and then when you open your Pip-Boy in Fallout, you can select it as a radio station, like you could any other radio station in Fallout. And then, and there we are, we're in the game. So yeah, you can play it
you know what? That makes me want to go get the game now. How's that?
You should, it's quite good.
That makes it even better. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm such a nerd.
In fact, when we release Series 2, I'm going to try and make a mod and incorporate all the Miserable Albert stuff as well, and intersect them with some of the episodes as well. So so there's a lot of, so that'll be the full experience, but it will only be there because there's no other way of doing it that way. But I'll construct it so that it's a whole package through from Series 1 through the Miserable Albert stuff to the end of Series 2. So that'll be a good way to listen to it, actually.
I love Miserable Albert. I just love he's so funny. Oh, yeah, they're back. They're alive.
They're back again. Ruining my dinner. Yeah.
Nobody's done the washing up. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he misses them.
Okay. He does. He really does. I can tell. There's such a brotherly love and affection that when they come back and they're not dead, or when he thinks he's being haunted by them, that's even better.
Yeah. It's quite good because we wrote a lot of the Miserable Alberts alongside writing Series 2. There's a lot of clues in the Alberts as to what's going to happen later, but I don't know if anyone's going to pick up. We put them in, but we don't know if anyone notices them. But you probably, as you listen to Series 2, you might be like, they mentioned that back there. So we've tried to make it really come together in this year, really. Because before it was all very sporadic.
It's awesome, though. It's really awesome. I really appreciate what you guys do. It's so fun.
Thanks. I'm really glad you like it. It's nice to meet someone.
I do. I love it. Okay, so you've got season 2 coming up. You're on Facebook. You're on Podbean. You're in Fallout. You're all over the place. You're like Petunia after she blew up on stage.
All right, boys and girls, we're out of here. That's been a podcast. Rachel's going to go giggle, and I'm going to go drink. All right, bye.
Thanks so much for being with us here for this episode of the Department of Understanding Humans. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, check us out on Twitter, and like us on Instagram. You can also head on over to our website and rate and review us, leave comments, or send in requests. Also, check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, and Podbean, and you can rate and review us there. Thanks again, and take care.